I'm here with Austin Hedges, and we're going to do a little catching demo. Before we get into it, the one thing I'm intrigued about today is so much information, so much knowledge, and so many different pitchers. How do you take all of that in and filter it so that you're getting ready to handle a staff?
I think for me, it starts in the clubhouse. I think the more I get to know the guys on a personal level, then it's all easy out on the field because I just know who they are and how they tick. So obviously the game plan goes into it, but when I know that they trust me to call pitches and take care of them based off the feel of the game, those are the things that there's a lot more going into it than just what happens on the field. So when I spend that time away from the field or in the clubhouse, that's how you get that trust, and because the scouting report can only take you so far. So
all right, so as you set up, let me get the baseball. I'm gonna move in this position. As you set up, one of the things that I was like, for me as a pitcher, I never wanted my catcher to hide if I wanted to go into a right-handed hitter. So I wanted the presentation to look as enticing as I can. So in your setup, when you're trying to get your pitcher to execute, what's your strength of what you're trying to do to get the ball in the area that you want it?
Whatever I'm trying to do, well, first of all, if I know one of my pitcher's cues, so like say like a guy likes to land a curveball like 0-0 for a strike, and he tends to bounce it, and his cue is he wants to throw it at my mask. So I know that. I'll give him a little target at the mask, which would look weird, like how many times you've given a high target on a curveball, but it reminds him that's his mental cue. I got to throw it at your mask. Now he lands it. Now we get strike one. So really it just depends on what I'm calling. It's really like if I want to get strike one, I'm going to give him some more plate. If we got one strike, maybe expand a little bit, but with two strikes, I got to emphasize, hey, I need this in the dirt. I need this out here. I need this up here. Like I got to emphasize because, 0-2, 1-2, more so 0-2, I don't want to pitch in the zone.
So when you're setting up, is it just a quiet hand? Show me how you will put the glove. We want a fastball away.
If I want a fastball away, I'll give my sign. I'll kind of flash him a good target first, and then get in here. I'll probably, if it's like one strike, I'll probably split the black and give him a nice slow target.
So if it's coming in, you just want to be as quiet as you can.
As quiet as possible. And then when I'm receiving, I want the umpire to see me receive every pitch the same way. If he sees you start you can catch a ball really well, but if it looks like you're working for it, he can tell that you had to work for it. If you have to work for it, it shouldn't be a strike.
Right.
So you want to make it look as easy as possible.
So on that, how much are you aware? We have analytics for everything and numbers for everything, but how much are you aware, or are you aware of pitch framing and stuff like that?
I mean, extremely aware. I mean, it's probably one of the most important things you can do as a catcher, just because you get to do it 150 times a game. Throwing's great, blocking's great, but I mean, you might not even throw once in a game. You might not even block once in a game if your pitcher's dialed in, but you're receiving pitches all the time. And I mean, you look at the numbers, and over the course of the year, you're flip-flopping all those 0-0 counts into 0-1 instead of 1-0, all those 1-1 counts into 1-2 instead of 2-1. You look at the batting average and slug differences on 2-1 counts versus 1-2 counts, it's astronomical. And so you have a catcher back there who can present the ball the right way for the umpire and for the pitcher as well. I mean, I think it's probably the number one physical attribute.
And then lastly for me, I always tell our catchers, if you see a hitter doing something different, tell me. How much are you aware of what the hitter's doing and obviously of what your pitcher's doing?
Yeah, that's a big thing. When I like to just keep my eyes on the hitter's feet when they get in the box. If a guy's making a box adjustment, I need to know. I might look at the pitcher and be like, hey, notice his feet. He moved up in the box. He moved on the plate. Whether he did it consciously or not, that's up to us to determine. Ideally, I can point that out on the mound, but worst case scenario, when we go into the dugout, we communicate about it.
Well, catchers are no longer tools of suggestion. They got to take in a million things of information. That's Catching 101. Thanks a lot.
Got it, man.